Here's my review for Venom 2018. Venom 2018 is Venom is a movie that was in production hell trying to get off the ground for nearly 20 years, which is kind of crazy to think about. They finally got it off the ground, which I'm glad they did. It's also a surprise hit at the box office. A lot of people didn't think that this would succeed, but it succeeded way above expectations. Let's get on to the characters. There's obviously Venom and Eddie, and the relationship is what really ties this film together and really makes it fun, goofy, weird, which is just a really awesome choice that they did it that way. Then there's Anne Wang. Anne Wang was the love interest for Eddie for about 30 minutes of the film before Eddie messed up, tried to out Carlton Drake for murders and stuff that he committed while doing testing during an interview, but it backfired incredibly hard on him, where he got blacklisted from journalism, at least in California, because of what he did. And he also got Anne Wang fired, so obviously they broke up. The new boyfriend, Dan, really nice cliche Dodge character. He's actually a really nice person in the movie, really tries to help out. Obviously is weirded out by what's happening around him, but he still stays, which is really nice. Then there's Doris Girth. Doris Girth is a scientist that works for Carlton Drake, and she does not like what he's doing with the symbiotes and how quickly he's going into testing and how he doesn't care about the people who are dying because of it. Then there's Carlton Drake, the main human antagonist of this film. He's not really original at all, but he has some really good scenes, which I think makes up for at least a little of it, which makes him more interesting than he probably should have been. Let's get on to the story. The story is Venom and a few other symbiotes, including Riot, which is the other main antagonist, get found by Carlton Drake's space research team, and they're brought back to Earth, but something happens on the way back into Earth and they crash. Riot escapes in Jameson, which is a really cool callback to John Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson's son in the comics. Riot escapes by hiding in his body and then transfers to another person. Riot is not the most interesting character, but he had some badass moments with what he could do with what weapons he can make. And then later on in the movie, Doris Girth is the one who brings Eddie Brock into the Life Foundation to take pictures and stuff to expose them, which I thought was kind of nice that she had at least a moral compass that what Carlton Drake was doing was wrong. Now let's get on to some really good scenes. One really good scene that I talked about earlier with Carlton Drake was how he calmed down a scared test patient with the symbiote. He kind of got down because Isaac was kind of a religious dude. Only has one scene, but he really manipulates him very well, which was actually kind of creepy how well he did it. But that's like a really good scene with Carlton Drake. In Riot, what he can do with his arms and stuff, that like he can make like balls with spikes, he can make blades, he can put his hands in the ground and make spikes appear out of the metal grating. The action in this movie I thought was really well done. Obviously, a lot of people complained about the final fight, claiming they couldn't tell what was happening, but I could honestly tell what was happening because one's like a light gray and one's like jet black, but people are different. And what they actually brought out some emotion with thinking Venom sacrificed himself for Eddie when the rocket was exploding and Venom made a parachute for Eddie. Overall, this movie is very weird because there's a scene where Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock literally is freaking out in a fine dining restaurant and climbs into a lobster tank and then takes a bite out of a live lobster. But I thought it was better because it was like that. Because it was so funny, so weird, because Venom in the comics, for the most part, really wasn't all that serious of a character. He was very, very weird. Very, very goofy, which they captured in this movie perfectly. Then probably my favorite action scene other than the final fight was the Venom versus the SWAT team or the motorcycle chase scene. Really added or really made it unique by using Venom's powers to the fullest, such as like with the motorcycle chase scene, used it to keep cars off Eddie with the tendrils and stuff, and fell on the side with the Venom symbiote and slid into another lane, which I thought was really, really cool. Overall, really fun movie, really weird movie. Definitely not for everybody because some people probably find it too weird. But I'd give this film about probably an 8.25 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and that's it.